You know, a majority of the iconic ECW guys are no longer with us. You know, New Jack passed away a couple of years ago. And I'm really hoping that it was like he said in Dark Side of the Ring, that he passed away snorting coke. If if you saw the end of Dark Side of the Ring, the New Jack episode
Yep.
where they say that they make a movie of your life, how do you want it to end? He goes, me as an old man in a wheelchair doing cocaine.
But I believe it was a heart attack in his sleep. I think it might have been like Rowdy Piper.
Something like, yeah. Was
like
it?
I think that's, if my memory serves me right. Anyone can feel free to jump in the comments below when this comes out if we're wrong here. But speaking of that, though, were you at the fall at Living Dangerously with him and Vic?
Yeah, I was one of the first people on the scene.
Got you. So I never told you this. Some people noticed, but when Vic did his entire skit here, Vic lived 2 doors down from me in Ben Salem. So for that show, I drove up with Vic as his guest, and we drove back together. So it was one of those, like, I had one of those hands-on, but all I do know is the talk when I remember the talk of that him going up there, the scaffolding, and we talked to the people that ran the place, because the people that ran the place were about to bring the scaffolding down last minute because they thought, oh, this is going to look ugly for TV. And I ran over. I'm like, no, that's going to be used. That's going to be used and everything. So, but I just remember being in that crowd because I wasn't going to be backstage during the show, want to watch it. I just remember the fall, and I didn't see them hit the ground because of the surrounding of the people. But I don't know what went wrong with the communication up there. Vic told me his story. New Jack told his. It's totally 2 different stories.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say about that is, being a guy that was involved with wrestling, I have no idea what New Jack was thinking of pulling a 400-pound man this way on top of him. That's not the way to bump. So I don't know. But you said you were right there when they hit the ground. So what happened?
No, I wasn't there when they hit the ground. I was in the gorilla position behind the curtain.
Okay.
And nobody was paying attention to the monitors. And what they were doing is they were showing the fall over. They were replaying the fall.
Oh, yes.
But we didn't have sound from the pay-per-view as it was going on. And I'm like, nobody's paying attention. What's going on? So I run through the curtain. I go through the crowd. I get there. And that's where Jack is on the floor. And he's bleeding. And there was one dude, an indie wrestler whose name I forget, was basically holding his skull together. And nobody knew what to do. There weren't cameras filming him. I immediately grabbed somebody, one of the helpers, and said, "Go get the doctors, man. Something's not. This is bad." And paramedics came on. He was semi-coherent. They put him in the ambulance, and we had to go on with the show. You know, this was shortly after the Owen Hart thing.
Yeah.
And nobody knew what to do. Okay, nobody really knew how to react, but we couldn't stop the show. You know, there's an old showbiz adage: the show must go on. And
so
pro wrestling.
You were right there when you helped the people, the medical crew put New Jack in the ambulance. You definitely were right there for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he was. Oh, yeah. He said he was semi-conscious. He was actually awake a little bit for all that. He wasn't out the entire time.
He was awake, but he wasn't with us.
Yeah.
Okay. And the thing is, he fell on a spot where somebody had spilled beer, and we saw the foam by his head, so we thought it was brain fluid.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. He got seriously injured from that and never quite recovered.
No, he definitely didn't. And then Vic and his Herman Munster ways, he's back on his feet in 90 seconds. It was crazy.
Yeah. And you saw the spot. You saw the spot in XPW with the stun gun where New Jack got his payback.
Yeah.
Grimes hits the turnbuckle and bounces off of it, and all he got, I think, was like a twisted ankle or something like that.
He said he was actually fine. He was there talking to everybody. They said stay there until everyone clears the arena and everything. So Yeah, he's the living Herman monster. I swear. But
Yeah.
he was a guy that I thought if he was, because he was on loan, if he was full-time ECW, I think Paul would have definitely elevated him even more by far.
I didn't really know him that well. He was, I had just casual conversations with him. I didn't know him that well at the time at all.
Yeah.
You know, spent very little time with him while he was in ECW because he wasn't there that long.
No,
You know,
probably 6 to 9 months, I would say. Like, certainly I got,
rough.
yeah, I definitely came obviously friends with him. I still talk to him. And then oddly enough, later on in 2012, 2013, when New Jack tried to jump into filmmaking, yeah, he was in one of my short films and he was coming to my film events and all that. But New Jack had a thing where, because of his brain, he can't remember lines. He just kind of like, give me bullet points of what the character is.
Yeah.
But so if you're willing to do that, you've got New Jack. But if you're trying to like make a movie where like, brother, the dialogue really matters, he wasn't your guy.
No.
So
Plus,
yeah,
I think he lost vision completely in one eye.
Yeah,
you know, and he never,
or at least half of it. So yeah, so it's one of those things that's definitely a memorable moment, like a holy wow moment. I could say I was at every single Living Dangerously there ever was. It's the only pay-per-view across the boards I could say I was at. Top it all up, 2 or 3 of them were in Asbury, so it was an easy drive.
Yeah,